Hello and welcome to The Bar is Loaded, Bitesize episode 6. This week you have the joys of just my voice and also a new location. I'm in the living room this time, not my bed. And that feels very unusual. But anyway, this week I'll be discussing my list of 5 strongman and strongwoman athletes to follow on Instagram. So the main reason behind this video really is just to, so that you guys can have a bit of inspiration of who you'd follow if you want to get into the sport. You just want to learn a bit more about the sport. These are the people I think you should be following. So without further ado, we have Northwest's own Rhiannon Lovelace. So obviously we've spoken about her very recently. She's just done the Atlas Stone world record at lightweight. So, she's a very inspirational person. She's this young girl that's coming in just absolutely smashing the sport. She's got a world record in deadlift, world record in axle, world record in now Atlas Stone. She's an inspiration for anyone, male or female, but particularly female because, she shows that you don't have to have all this body weight to be a success. And, she showed that, girls can be fucking absolute animals. And I think anyone that wants to get into the sport of strongman or even powerlifting, any form of lifting, I think she's such an important person to follow. Not only that, she's obviously a very successful businesswoman. She owns Chaos Strength up in Preston, which is a very good gym. They've just had an extension as well. So, it's not just her sporting attributes that are inspirational. It's the fact that she's just this young girl with her head completely screwed on. And that's why I think you should be following her. So next up, we have Mr. Lawrence Charley, otherwise known as Big Loz. So there's many reasons I say that this guy is probably up there as one of the best the UK's ever produced. He's been in countless World's Strongest Man. He's won Europe's before. He's just such an inspiration, I think, for any athlete coming up. He's been there and he's done it. The great thing I find with Loz as well is that his videos are very, very honest. He's not afraid to put his opinion in. And I think, that's such an important thing in the sport. There's too many people that want to pander to the top athletes when really we shouldn't have to. It's a very down-to-earth sport. And I think that's, something that Loz very much portrays. Obviously with Loz as well, you've got that wealth of experience. So, that the videos that he's putting out are just exactly what you'd need to hear. It's not sugar-coated. It is raw and it is exactly what you'd want to hear. He will be honest. And the amount of injuries the guy's had as well, he knows exactly how you'll feel for whatever situation you are in during your strongman pursuit. As well, he has a YouTube, which is very good. Again, very honest views on that. And another good thing that I really like about Loz is he's very Instagram friendly. So, if you share something of his, if you comment on his post, even if you direct message him, he's very active and he will reply. So, that's something that I find very good for these top level athletes is that if they've got the time for you, then, that's such an important thing. And, I've asked Loz a question on DM before and he's got straight back to me and, things like you leave him a comment and he will reply. So I think that's very important. Next up, we have World's Strongest Man 2019, Martinez. So, Martinez is one of my favourite strongman athletes. That's something that everyone knows, really, I think. So, obviously, there's that aspect for me to put him in the list, but not just that. I think his Instagram is just an all-round friendly Instagram experience. So, it's not just around his videos and things like that. Like, it's just a really good Instagram to follow for so many things. Like, it's funny. The stuff that he puts out is very accurate. So, all his training that he puts on there, like it's so raw. Like he'll put on about training rehab, which I didn't think a lot of athletes will do. But Martinez does very well. He's had injuries and he's not afraid to show his path to getting back to full fitness. And I think that's such an important thing to see. As well, he's got a YouTube and a Twitch. The YouTube is fucking fantastic. Like I try and watch that as much as I can. It's such a great YouTube to watch. Him and Romark absolutely smash it week in, week out. They make it funny and it's just a good watch. But obviously, yeah, not just the fact that his videos are good, he's also World's Strongest Man. If that's not a reason to follow him, I don't know what the fuck is. So next up, we've got the Stockmans. So I know they have two separate Instagrams, but fuck it, we'll put them into one. They're brothers, so they come as a package. So Tom Stockman, Luke Stockman, obviously we Again, I've spoken about these very recently. So Luke went for the world record in the log press. Unfortunately missed it, but Tom went for the world record in the stone, and he made it, and he's going to fucking beat it again with a beautiful 304 kilo Atlas stone, again made by Atlas Endurance, so that's going to be a great watch. So again, these guys both have very all-round Instagram friendly Instagram, so to speak. So, you know, it's not just about the lifting, it's about their family life and things like that. And I think that, again, that's very important. You know, it's great to see these people as athletes, but they're also people, and the Stockmans do that with their Instagrams very, very well. But also they make it funny. So, you know, Luke constantly takes a piss out of his wife, Gushy. You know, Tom is more of a doting husband, I'd like to say. You know, he's a lot more gushy over Sinead. But, you know, their Instagrams are just fantastic. You know, I'd 100% follow them. Again, they've both got a YouTube together, which is just fantastic. That is always about their training and how hard they work, and you see just how they've come up so quickly. So obviously they've been around for a while, especially Luke, but these last couple of years they've really excelled in what they do, and in their YouTube you will see why. You'll see how hard they train. You will see, you know, everything they sacrifice to be where they are right now. And, you know, that if that's not a reason to follow them, I don't know what the fuck is. But also the benefit is their YouTube is fucking hilarious as well. You know, the amount of times that we've seen Luke walk in on Tom taking a shit, it's fucking great. So if that's what you're into, brilliant. Get on their YouTube. Cannot, you know, say any better than that. And finally, on the list, we have Mr. Rob Tierney, aka World's Strongest Gay. So there you go. There's his Instagram handle if you'd like to follow it. So again, this is something that we spoke about very recently. He's just done the American log lift record. You know, in that video that we did with Adam, it was very obvious to state what an inspiration the guy is in general. You know, he's like the only openly gay strongman out there in the professional ranks, at least. And you know, he's just such an advocate for the LGBTQ community, and I think that's such an important thing in a sport that wants you to be alpha. You know, he shows that you don't have to be such an alpha person to succeed in strongman, and I think that's such a, you know, refreshing thing to see. Not only that, obviously we discussed again that, you know, he's quite a short guy, he's quite a lightweight guy. So for people, especially like me, a short arse, it's so good to see athletes like that succeed. And again, that's one of the main reasons I follow him, is that, you know, I love to see how he trains around his height, because that for me is something that I, you know, need to pick up. Is I need to know what to do around my height. So yeah, you know, he's an inspiration all around. Again, it's just such a very great and friendly Instagram experience. So it's so much about like his home life, him and Joey. You know, it isn't just around his training. So, you know, if you don't want to see someone just training constantly, all their videos, Rob's is a perfect one for that. You know, it shows a lot of his home life too, which is great. Again, his videos of his training are very honest though, again. So, you know, he will break things down a lot like Martinez does. You know, he'll break down why he does a movement, and I think again that is so important. Again, as something we've mentioned with Loz, like Rob is very inclusive. So, you know, he will share things if you've shared it on your story. He'll, you know, like comments even before, like I've had him reply to me on direct message. It's, you know, he's such a person that will take out the time. As well, that's probably something I should have mentioned with the Stockmans, is that they too are very very conscious of like people messaging them. So I've asked for advice from Luke before, and within 5 minutes I had a reply. It's fantastic. So, you know, these people that I mentioned in this list are great for things like that. So if you have a question, DM them and they will answer you. You know, obviously Rhiannon being from the Northwest, like I have on Facebook, like, you know, it's, these people are the people that I think are the most inclusive. You know, it's not to say this is the definitive list of the guys that, you know, are the most inclusive and that you are going to get replies to. And you may not get replies off these people, but, you know, from what I've experienced is I always have them. So, yeah, a very short, an actual bite-sized episode. I cannot believe that's actually happened. So, yeah, let me know how the actual bite-sized format has been. Again, I hope you've enjoyed my voice. This only took me 4 takes to do, so be proud of me. And yeah, as always, like, follow, subscribe, and all that jazz. And I shall see you guys soon. Peace out. A-Town down.